Artifacts from the Forest Queen. The Forest Queen came ashore in 1853 at Third Cliff in Scituate. The Forest Queen was a full-rig ship, very large vessel. She had been over in China and then had gone to England and Ireland and was heading back to Boston to unload the cargo when it was caught in a winter blizzard and was pushed ashore at Scituate at Third Cliff. We have several divers that work with us at the Maritime Museum, and they have retrieved all these artifacts that you see right here. I think one of the most interesting artifacts that they have found is this one right here. This is the tip of the captain's horn, so if you were to pull this apart, it would go around. And the captain would use the horn to yell up to the crew in the rigging to do this and to do that. And his name is actually engraved in the piece here, but it's on the bend right there, so it's hard to see, but you can read it if you look at it carefully. The captain's name was Olney Lovett. The family of Olney Lovett have sent us that picture. That's what he looked like. The problem was there were two possible shipwrecks side by side at this location. So the divers could not be sure that they were working the Forest Queen until they found that. And then that proved the point, that it was in fact the Forest Queen. It had a large cargo of a large variety of things, including apparently hundreds of bottles of Worcestershire sauce. You can see there, Lear and Perrins Worcestershire sauce, with the stopper still in place. So I guess the Worcestershire sauce is still in there, still fermenting. Another favorite item of mine is this deck light, and it's a great way to show kids how technology has changed. Deck lights were placed along the deck of the ship, and they were flush with the wooden deck, so if my hand represents the wood deck, it would be flush. The crew would not trip over it. Sunlight coming down through the glass would come out the bottom, and these ribs would disperse the light like that, and it would give a decent amount of light below deck during the daylight hours. So that's a way of showing kids how technology has dramatically changed since 1853. Sounding weights were used to tell how deep the water was under the ship. You would tie a line through the hole in the top, drop it, it would hit the bottom, you would feel it hit the bottom, just like a fishing sinker. Then you would have a rope that would have knots tied every 6 feet. And the crew member would then pull up the sounding weight and count the knots as it went through his hand. So every 6 feet there's a knot or a fathom. So the crew member would count the number of fathoms. So let's say it was 6 knots that he counted. That's only 36 feet. 6 times 6, 36 feet. That's not a lot of water under the ship. The captain would then know they were in somewhat of a difficulty because they're getting into fairly shallow water. Forest Queen is that it had a number of passengers, and these passengers were kids between the ages of 12 and 16. Most of them were girls, and they were from Ireland, and they were listed as servants. It's 1853. We think that the families over in Ireland couldn't afford to keep them anymore. They put them on board the ship, told them to go to Boston, try to find work because of the difficulty with the potato famine that was raging in Ireland. Everybody that was on the boat saved themselves. There was no loss of life. We have not had any luck, so far at least, finding what happened with those kids because they had very common names such as Mary O'Neill and Catherine O'Flaherty. It's almost impossible to figure out where they went. We're pretty sure, though, that they would not have gone back to Ireland.